But then when you think about it, there's not that many maps. So why are you not playing it? There's only 4 maps in the rotation. You should not have a map you don't play. You should have a map maybe you play less, but not play. That's a problem.
Yeah. So we'll see if both teams have that ability to play this map. Of course, we don't have a lot of stats when it comes to forZe. But Need More DM, it does look like they have played Ascent. Maybe not to the greatest ability, but still, there's not a lot of sample sizes available for some of these teams. But it's looking like it's going to be the A push here. But it's just the defense that are locking it down. They'll find 4 frags just down to the last and final player, Foda. Going to try to make his way over. And at this point, what are you going to do? Save the weapon? There's really no point. Just try to go out swinging. And unfortunately for him, the spike's in a very difficult spot. Swings around the corner, finds one, so at least it's a great start, but it's still the 1v3 that Foda needs to deal with. And now shots up into heaven, but it's Kolyan that'll find the frags that he needs. Played the Brimstone yesterday, now today on the Sova.
Solid start there in the pistol on Ascent. Kind of curious to see how this composition is going to work out for both sides. We've seen the Sageless comp played pretty heavily on Ascent. Specifically in North America, the team that comes to mind is TSM, favoring away from the Sage and going more towards a Phoenix, actually. An agent that Tom was saying in the pregame show, just not really too big of a fan, feeling more towards the Breach, but a lot of teams actually shying away from the Breach in more recent weeks with the buff that came out for Omen to his Paranoia. That flash just oh so powerful. Nice quick shot coming out from Impala on Cat. We saw this work yesterday with the Marshall. He's just so good with it as he finds 3. Goes for the wide swing reload. Sends a shot out through that dark cover. That was the Raze, who was then charging into mid, trying to take the battle with Smart 7. It'll come down to the last one standing. It's the Sage, locked in towards B connector, and they are going on the hunt. That is a flawless round coming out from the defense.
Okay, maybe it could have a little, defender side here. Of course, we don't have the weapons online yet from Need More DM, but those are some pretty convincing rounds back to back. But when you have nothing to lose, when you funnel in one at a time, there's really not a whole lot that can be done, especially when you've got pistols in tow. But now it does look like they will opt in for the Phantoms and the Vandals. And, I always ask myself this question when it comes to picking up the Vandal or the Phantom. It does obviously feel like the Vandal hits harder at longer distance. The one taps definitely feel a lot more satisfying. But this time, majority of the team on the attack opting in for the Phantoms, meaning that maybe they want to play at a little bit of a closer distance with that higher rate of fire. So we'll see how they end up playing this one out. And so far, it's looking like the feelers are being sent out towards A.
I will say this, Need More DM's fans currently in the chat representing. Hopefully we do a decent job saying Tigana's name. We were told ahead of time that was Taijin by some people on the EU community, but I was corrected yesterday by some of you guys. I do appreciate that. Hopefully we're saying it right and we don't butcher it too bad. I'm American, so it's a little bit tough for me to speak sometimes. English, kind of dumb. Yeah. First kill going the way of the defense as the Cypher will be sent away from play for the time being. It does look like they're going to be moving over towards this A site, and in that moment, Cypher peels back that tripwire, which might be a bit of a problem. Recon dart back into the site. Does dodge the first pulse. Trying to survive a little while with the Marshall. Does decent damage, but can't survive after the 2 shots are delivered. Support is now arriving, but the heal's coming in as well. So one of those targets going to be brought back, to full HP. Sova and Raze both chiming in. It's down to 2 now here for Need More DM. Make it just 1. It's going to be BZT as the Raze trying to get into the A site. Gunned down through the smoke thanks to the recon dart. A 3rd round now for forZe on the defense.
I really want to give a lot of credit to MitchMan here. He was almost begging teams to pick the Omen yesterday, and this time around, Zeddy, he was playing a lot of Breach in the matches that they had yesterday, and they finally decided to pick up some of the Omen here for Zeddy. And I mean, if you can play one Flash character, you can play another, but Zeddy's got a little bit of a different utility. I would almost argue that Breach is a lot more immobile than Omen. So having that ability to displace yourself with the ultimate, or just one of the regular abilities, you can do quite a bit into confusing your opposition. But a couple of smokes here in the middle as they're looking to now start to funnel through. But they're looking to try to defend this. It's first Kolyan that finds a frag onto BZT, but it's quickly refragged by Barcode. The swap and exchange of frags means it's now down to the 4v4. They're looking to push in. It's a cyber cage that's brought up, but they still need to have control of the site. On the site, it is Zeddy, and he demands respect. 3 frags for him. Still just down to the last and final player. But a pretty good round for the defense here off of what looks like to be the attacker pistol.
Here's the interesting thing, right? Crazy Deer actually played the Omen yesterday when we watched him play on Haven, and I thought he did a pretty good job playing as the Omen. You're not really seeing Brim picks as frequently on Ascent, more favoring the Omen, because you have all these tight choke points. You can flash from Tree Room towards Long A to go for an aggressive look. You can obviously flash into B main. Paranoia just oh so strong currently in the meta. And actually, as much as Tom praised Breach in the pregame, a lot of teams aren't picking Breach anymore. Breach is actually kind of getting a little bit less common, especially on these fringe maps like Split and like Ascent. You're not seeing it picked as frequently as we once did. Was initially one of the core 5 that you would see picked in the beta stages. But I think part of that is because of the way the meta has shifted over the last couple of weeks. People are realizing that while Breach's flash is strong, his kit is not a duelist kit. He's more of a support. Like, it's less likely you're going to flash yourself in. You're more likely to flash somebody else in. And a lot of people are favoring the Omen because he also gets the smokes, and his flash works better for himself. Nice opener there from Coffee as they try to push through onto Tree Room. Coffee's going to find one more as Crazy Deer sneaks inside the smoke. There's still one more coming through from Tree Room. It's BZT with an operator trying to sneak up onto the site.
Wow.
And Impala from underneath in Hell actually able to get that shot. Barcode. LMS. First kill will be his. Make it a second. Neural Theft going to be popped, but 5 HP. The round's likely over, and there you go. Through the wall, it will be Impala to close things out.
Okay, I don't know what he had for breakfast, but he seems to be online and ready today. Yes, we saw, some cool Marshall plays coming out from him yesterday, but this time around, I feel like he's woken up. He's freshened up. Today, whatever he did different today, he needs to continue doing for the rest of the tournament because he is already starting to come alive. That was a gun round for Need More DM, and they'll be sent back packing, likely down to the pistol, or maybe even just a force buy, whatever they end up going for. So the Sheriff on Crazy Deer tells me it is just the pistol, but these rounds are really starting to lay on here for forZe.
Oh, there's the peak from Impala. That's got to be so frustrating if you're BZT. Dropping him down to 5 HP. I'm not sure what gun it was that BZT had in the scenario. Didn't see the buy as it came through because it is an eco coming out here from the attack. The damage, though, is piling up right now as Need More DM has managed to actually crack their way into that B site. As I say that, though, Tigane, the Sage, going to go down trying to come through the market. You've got Smart 7 sitting in the muck right now. Spotting one towards lanes. The last one to have to worry about. Nice little transfer as he started to spray through the wall. Flicks it back to hit the head. But that's a dangerous round coming in from Need More DM. forZe gets dropped down to 2 players just with pistols and SMGs.
I have a feeling Impala's going to be peeking that catwalk quite a bit. When you're feeling yourself with the operator, there's only one thing to do, and that's to use it. So I did want to touch on earlier on. We were saying how, or at least the desk was saying how a lot of teams aren't really playing Ascent, or they really should be, but they're not, considering how small the map pool is. It's actually forcing, in some cases, teams to adopt new agents. We saw yesterday Coffee playing the Phoenix, now he's playing the Raze. We saw Zeddy playing the Breach, now he's playing the Omen. And Kolyan, he was playing Brimstone, but he is now on the Sova. So teams have to adapt to new strategies, and we talked a little bit about how often you'll see some Sageless metas on Ascent. So despite how teams may hate Ascent, it is actually inspiring innovation in the agent selection. So, in fact, teams should probably be picking it up more to learn a little bit more about their own dynamic.
Oh, Impala's got to get out of dodge. This is a strong take coming in. There's the showstopper popped. It does do some significant damage to the Sage. I love this play from Impala. High camera, not firing a single dart, just getting out intel, pinging positions using the map system more than anything.
Yeah, but at this point, what are you going to do when a rocket's flying right at your face? Zeddy, though, he's going to get the quick refrag. It's still going to be Impala trying to provide some firepower from heaven. And we saw yesterday Artist land some pretty crazy shots through the wood of heaven, but not going to be this time around. That pre-fire from Zeddy, not going to find anyone as well. Neural Theft now coming in from the defense to try to spot out where the attacker located. It's the paranoia that is just so deadly, but Tigane there with the cross peeks out the corner and takes down 4 members from Need More DM. And finally, the attack have a round on the board.
It's about time, to be perfectly honest. It was starting to get a little bit out of control. You mentioned it coming into this when we were in the pre-show, when it was Tom and James talking things over. We saw the stats, and you're like, I don't know, I feel like this map is kind of attack-sided. And we went back and forth for that, or on that for a bit. The truth is, again, it's hard to say, but we usually do see a little bit better of a front coming in from the attacking sides on this map. So it's been a bit of a slow start. Need More DM, though, do wake up here in the 7th round, put one on the board. Need to see them find a few more, especially for those fans that are currently showing up in the chat, spamming out the Need More DM. You got an aggressive look coming in here from forZe, something we haven't seen them do just yet, pushing up into the A-long cubby. You've got Raze waiting around that corner that's BZT, or not BZT, excuse me, BZT on the side of Need More DM. It's the Raze from the defense that's pushed into that position.
Coffee.
Yeah, Coffee just chilling in that corner. There's the Al drone into B main to try to get some intel, but it's BZT who's here with the operator, and he's wanting that peek, trying to kind of force the issue towards that B site.
We saw BZT earlier on with that blast pack peek. Didn't really know that he had one for every single map. So good on him to try to get that angle early. But to be quite honest, nobody ever peeks the fish market, or at least dry like that. You'll actually see the defense play a little bit further back. Recon Bolt ruins the surprise, the birthday surprise that was about to start to come in through the door. Zeddy, though, in a very interesting angle. Something you don't see too often, playing quite far back on site, but still up on the ledge. Now having to drop down. Paranoia, but no one's there with the cross, as they've been actually smoked off from the side. Kolyan trying to get a good look inside, but it's not going to be really that accurate, as they will make their way onto the site. 3 frags for them. Only Smart 7 there with the refrag, and the defense now just down to 1. It's Coffee, and he's not going to have any more left to spill. It's Barco that's quickly there to take him out, and a great take from the attack, really starting to dwindle down the economy of the defense.
This is what you like to see from Need More DM, starting to wake up. A slow start. Kind of the opposite of what we saw in that early series from them yesterday, when they played against the Party Parrots. They started off strong, if I'm not mistaken, on Haven, and it was Party Parrots who started to wake up after a few rounds of getting beaten up by Need More DM. Impala holding this line, and there's the Al drone coming out. I actually like what they're doing with that Al drone over on A. It forces him out of position as he's going for that peek towards the box hop, and instead he's just taking down the drone every time and having to fall back, not wanting to overextend the play. Recon Dart coming out deep towards mid. Not going to spot anything as the Recon Dart gets destroyed instantaneously. 1 pulse goes out, does at least ping 1 target. BCT, again with that operator trying to move in towards mid this time, not in B main. The slow orb lands right in Smart 7's lap, so he's stuck in that corner, sends one out in response. The Al drone coming in from the defense now delivers a dart to the belly of Tigane. So they'll actually take out the Sage, and they'll force back the attack as well. The shock dart doesn't really go where you'd hope. A follow-up to keep them back just a little bit further. Camera going out onto the site. Smart 7's here inside this little room, moving up towards B main. And what? Hello? Internet, please.
Well, he's still going to peek inside and get the frag anyway, so internet maybe not so pleased. It is now BZT who's stuck between a rock and a hard place in that corner. Still not going to be the death of him. Coffee finding himself a barcode, and now it's still going to be the fight for the B site, but the attack have really started to dwindle those odds that they are not going to make their way onto a site, and they'll likely not get the spike down. 10 seconds remain. They will look to save the weaponry that they have, and it's another round on the board here for forZe. And so, considering how this half has started to unfold, if we are going to say that, okay, Ascent is a little, defender-sided, in this case, then that means that forZe could potentially see a 10-2 half. They could see a 9-3 half. Very, very doable. Best case for Need More DM at this point is an 8-4. But considering how these rounds have started to continue on, I don't think that that is likely. And so when we swap to that second half, it is very important for forZe to win the pistol. If we're going to have finishes like that, they really need to make sure that they are fighting hard and really executing properly.
Nice nade coming out on short to try to keep them back just a bit so they can push up further. This passive mid play coming in from the Sova, playing back more towards spawn. It does surrender a lot of mid control. And now this Omen could actually be in trouble a bit as Smart 7 is kind of floating between spawn and B site. They're relying heavily on Zeddy, but we saw what happened the last time they tried to challenge Zeddy aggressively. He crushed the push. Shock darts, going out towards the market. There's the first shot coming in for Smevin, who goes over the wall, but you've got Zeddy in the backside of sight still lurking here as the Omen. First one's going to be his. Tries to throw down the paranoia, taken out by Tigana in the end, so not as strong a defense here on the B site as we saw from him in the past. It'll come down to a 2-on-3 in the retake. Wait, Foda just spotted the raise.
Wow. That is making the call out. Serious patience. That is some serious. He's going to have another look inside, and that's going to be the end of Coffee. Now Impala, he's got a pretty handy dragon in his hands, and he probably wants to keep it safe and sound, so he will back away. But you think Foda's going to let that happen? Of course not. Takes him out with the rotation back towards the defender spawn and picks himself up a brand new pet. It's the operator that is now going to go over towards BZT, who we've seen with those fancy pants blast pack boosts get a nice quick angle, and he might actually look to do so here. We've seen Impala peek towards the A main quite honestly almost every single round, and now he's going to be doing so with Coffee as well. We'll see if BZT has a blast pack for us, but it looks like it might just be the slow play and Fuda using that owl drone early to get an early shot out and push them back.
Oh, I love this play coming in from Coffee. It's beautifully played as the ult gets popped. The showstopper is going to find two, following up with the rifle to pick off the third. The play coming in from Need More DM was an attempt to punish that aggressive peak we kept seeing from Impala, but it was set up so nicely by forZe. It's now down to two. It's Barcode and Tigane, the Sage. The res not available to them. They do have the neural theft. The defense has the res available on their side. Spike still in possession of the attack, but an unlikely round win coming in for forZe here as things looked a little bit bad at first. We saw the way that look was setting up and we were concerned. What were we going to see based off what was happening? It looked like maybe an aggressive play was going to get punished by the operator, not even paying attention to that ult.
Yeah, on the opposite side, it's Barcode that is trying to make some quick work of the tree room, and at this point, nothing really left to do but to push in, and the first frag not going to go his way. Smart 7 there with the cross to look for the entry in from A main. Flawless round for the defense, but it really was off of the back, the big broad shoulders of Coffee, who just sent that showstopper flying, and unfortunately for Need More DM, they were huddling up for warmth by that bicycle, and that showstopper is definitely going to keep them warm from beyond the grave. So 8-3 the scoreline, of course, and the last round before we swap to that second half. And for Need More DM fans, they need your energy more now than ever to finish off here 8-4. It would be pretty rough to finish 9-3, but considering we did discuss it could be a little bit more defender sided, Need More DM have plenty of chances in the second half to come back.
First shot out from the operator signals that there's a presence towards the B site. You do see heavy grouping currently coming in from Need More DM in that territory.
Here.
Very strong first half coming out from forZe. Zeddy's got the paranoia pop ready. They're going to go for the wall boost to try and peek up over the top. There's the recon dart. Uh-oh, that might give away some positions. The Odin is going to open fire, but it doesn't really get a chance to open up fully. There's the paranoia, and that is why it is oh so strong on this map. So many angles where you can just send it down through line of sight. The Sage still on top of the wall, peeks out towards the site, and now they've actually cracked through the defense here, and another one coming in from Tigane up on top of the wall. How is this working out so well for him when they know he's in this position? It's all down to Coffee here in the 1-on-3. Looked like a promising start coming in from forZe, but Need More DM have managed to turn things around. As I say that, though, Coffee picks off one. BZT dying over towards the switch, resulting in a 1-on-2. The double peek coming through. Well played. Tigane going to find the third on the round. An absolutely needed round coming in from Need More DM at the tail end of the first half.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. That was a little scary there for 1 second because Need More DM, they swung together, and when they swung, they also swung in a straight line. And so I really thought Coffee had the opportunity to just line him up 2 headshots, and he could have actually won the round. But they corrected themselves kind of near the tail end of their spray, and it all boded well for them. I think only Tigane was the one that was taken down to like 30 or so HP. And so now 8-4 the scoreline of the first half. Looking forward, it is now Need More DM in the defensive seat. We'll see how they end up using their utility, how they set up for some of these holds. Already we're seeing a lot of Cypher utility spread out. Interesting to see Cypher utility used towards mid. Usually it's a little bit more of an anchor spot, but very interesting to see how that ends up playing out if that's continued to be used from the side of Barcode.
I don't know if you caught that. That was a slow orb followed by the paint shells coming in from the Rays and a high into the sky shock dart coming out from FOTA, who was actually on the A site and got that fatal blow towards the players on long. Now, in response, forZe is going to push in through mid and actually get 2 as a result. They caught 1 in spawn, then 1 on the back end of the play. BCT sneaks in just in time to finish off the last bit of HP there for Coffee. Crazy Deer inside the site as the Brim, pushed back by the paranoia. BZT still on the flank coming in. Just on the other side, the spike's been dropped. It's all down to 1. It's Zeddy as the Omen, and that's going to be 2 for Zeddy. He's now got a 1-on-1. 40 HP, spike in his possession. FOTA on the other side has not yet been spotted. And what does Zeddy decide to do? Decides to go back around to spawn. And if he times this right, oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. He's actually going to be able to sneak into the A site.
That feels so bad. He also has a dark cover if he wants to use it. He has the shrouded step to displace himself if he wants, and we've seen a lot of pump fakes, but look at the opposition here. Kolyan in a great position, but it's the recon bolt that gets spotted. Here's the pump fake that we were talking about, but it's the swing and the headshot from Zeddy, and it's a round on the board for forZe.
Man, if you are Need More DM right now, you are not happy with what just happened.
Oh, yeah.
And as the fact that Zeddy somehow wins that second fight, jumping off of the platform, landing in sight, waiting for his aim to recover off the movement, still wins that 1-on-1 exchange, but it was 1-on-1 and 1-on-1 and 1-on-1 in the tail end. And then he gets all the way away. Really, it's pure timing. When they actually watch that back, when they see that round and they see just how much that one's going to sting with the timing, I imagine it's going to be even more frustrating. Great damage being dealt early on here to the Rays, already very low on HP, a scratch away from death. Going to need a heal coming out. But there's Impala. As usual, Impala so insanely deadly with the Marshall. As I say that, Barcode peeks out, and he's like, you know what, that's a cute Marshall you got, but my Sheriff, he's in charge. And it brings things back to a 4-on-4.
I think he actually picked that up, so he switched his weapon and then swung, and then got the frag. So Barcode's got some moves, and now he'll swing around the corner. He's going to get a face full of lead from the Spectre of Coffee. Now it's the attack that are looking forward towards mid. And we talked a little bit about how the pistol could be so detrimental to the rounds at hand. We are seeing FOTA make that difference, count with the frenzy. But still, they'll start to funnel in. It's the 3v3 now, and the recon bolt will likely spot them all out. Still going to try to make some damage happen here, but unfortunately now they rotate up towards heaven. Paint Shell's ready for that potential plant, but I don't think they're going to plant default. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. But that paint shell is going to make that a very difficult process. But I like this from Zeddy. He's going to get up and he's going to get involved. And then he's got a Phantom and heavy armor. He's looking to really make this one hurt. The shot's good. Headshot's going to be landing onto BZT. One more onto Tigane, but it's the refrag there from FOTA. And Smart7 finding that last and final one. So 10-4 the scoreline, and we are entering into the gun round for the defense. And if they lose this one, it is very, very rough moving into the rounds forward.
You know what? I think I figured out what the problem is for Need More DM. Yesterday, they had people in chat spamming this soda to help FOTA. There's no one spamming that today. That's clearly the issue. But don't spam, guys. My mom brought me a new laptop, and it overheats if you spam the chat. So please don't do that.
No.
It's dangerous. No. 10 rounds now for forZe. As you have the Omen ult available. Again, you're going to see the same look from them over on the A site. So it's a deep shock dart. And I think it's actually a double shock dart that comes out from FOTA in combination with the slow orb and the grenade. So either they eat their grenade damage or they fall back into the double shock dart. I actually really love that play that we've been seeing from them. Doesn't produce the success you'd hope for here, as there was no one really in that territory. Look at the amount of mid control currently gathered up here by forZe on the attack. Crazy Deer has a lot of players coming his direction. Opts for the smoke. Nope, actually changes his mind. BZT is here with the punish. That's the first one coming in. That was over towards spawn. Now Crazy Deer peeks, and these players are trapped inside the market looking for a way out. And they've managed to find one. They fight their way out through towards spawn.
Wow.
And bring things down to 2. How is this round happening? This looked so promising again at the start, but now it's a 3-on-2. The Omen ult is popped towards the A site. The spike's starting to move out of mid, and it's going to get out of there just in time to avoid getting spotted by the defense.
Okay, but Barcode there, he's going to find Zeddy, and it was a great ultimate to get some intel onto that A site, but now it's Barcode and company looking to try to make this difficult. And Paula's going to take out that straggler that was coming in from behind, and now it's just up to the Cypher. And like I said, if Need More DM don't win this round, it's going to be costly. This might even be the game. They don't have the economy, and if they force up here and lose, then they definitely lose. So they might pistol here to try to save. That'll put, forZe at match point, and then they'll have the weaponry to buy in the following round. However, if they force up here to make things a little bit more difficult, and then they lose, then they'll definitely be on the pistol for the round to follow. So really need to make sure that this round's going to count, and you can see that they're poised up a little bit more aggressively than we're used to seeing them. Usually they're playing back towards spawn, giving a lot more respect and mid control to the opposition, but it's this time around that they are putting a lot of pressure towards the opposition, and already Barcode's going to find one, but he's quickly refragged.
1 second of difference in some of these rounds is the difference between this being an 11-4 and a much closer scoreline. I could see Need More DM having like 7 rounds at this point if things had gone just a little bit differently. And it's unfortunate because it's not necessarily that they're playing terrible. It's just that timing got the best of them in a few exchanges. Sometimes, yeah, they make some mistakes that are costing them a lot. The fact that they've given those rounds away has been a little bit disappointing. But when you watch the way those rounds ended up concluding, it was like that 1v1 with the Omen getting over towards the A site. It was just timing that works out best for them. And it seems like everything is just going right for forZe, even when it isn't. Right off the bat, we've got a 4-on-4. They've still got spike possession, and they've got the showstopper here on both sides. They're going to be moving over towards A, and this is not the proper read coming in from Need More DM. The Sage, not even on the A site, alone right now. So the ult gets popped here from the Raze. I guess silver lining is no one's going to die to this massive rocket that's coming out. No damage even being dealt there. The door's going to get shut, so Tigane is going to be on the other side, has to spam away at it with the Stinger. But they've got the ice wall up as well, so that's going to make things even more difficult. BZT has traded positions with the Sage, who's gone towards heaven. There's the port on top of Generator. BZT, who was over in the door, actually gets a line of sight. There's the defensive ult pop coming through, and it actually works out well for Need More DM, as Crazy Deer will get the last 2 with the Bulldog, a round they desperately needed to win.
Okay, I can only imagine the chat is going to go absolutely bonkers at that round. That is not a round I feel like you lose if you're forZe. They're off the pistol. The only really damaging ultimate that they have is the Showstopper. I'm not quite sure if they had the Hunter's Fury there, but let's just say that they didn't. That's just one piece of utility that they had, and all the Shock Darts were already used, but just great swing together from Heaven to find the frags that they need. And I have a feeling that forZe may have just been playing a little overzealous. Like, why was Zeddy on Generator? Like, why did he get up there? What was the point? What were you trying to accomplish by being up there? Of course, I do respect Smart 7 having the boost up above the door. That makes a whole lot of sense. But the rest of the team, I just think the post-plant positioning was really, really off for that A site.
It just came down to probably a miscommunication, not understanding, like, hey, they've already popped door. I'm not watching it actively. The wall's not deep enough to stop them from getting an angle, whatever the case may be. Tigane right around the corner, has to be careful. And there you go. That's the right call. Otherwise, he's dead if he doesn't go for that wall pop. So he has to wall them off, even if just for a moment. Sends it in diagonally, requires a little bit extra effort coming in from the attack to try and chisel away at that ice. But a minute left on the round, and we actually haven't seen any action, really, outside of that initial peek towards short. No casualties coming in yet. They're going to try and go for this mid control yet again. Nice nade coming out from BZT. That should do significant damage. Actually, it was Smart 7 who gets out of position just in time. So that Sage Wall popped towards short, stopped them for the time being. They ran back towards mid, put up their own Sage Wall. Paranoia in towards short, through the window. Tigane is going to try and do some damage. Doesn't actually connect on anything. They start making their way onto the site. Tigane gets one. It's FOTA up from Heaven. BZT also chiming in, and it's come down to just two. It's the Omen and the Sage now in the 2-on-4.
And I mean, we saw this before, but this time it's a different story. Need more DM. They've got the weaponry to play. They've got the weaponry to fight, but we've seen how some of these rounds can just slip away from Need More DM, and forZe find great success. And as I say that, the defense comes swinging in. They barge through the front door, and they demand that they win this round. 11-6 going to be the scoreline moving forward. And so now, forZe likely going to be in a broken buy or a pistol, considering they've lost two with guns in their hand. We'll actually have to see if that's going to be the case, but that's just my guesstimate there. That could be another round here for Need More DM as they slowly start to catch up. They have a 2-round buffer if things get kind of crazy and they end up losing a round, so that'll be then the 1-round buffer. But slow and steady, they might be able to win the race.
You know what's changed here for Need More DM?
They're on
the chat spamming
oh,
soda.
The soda spam.
The soda spam. It's
really
working.
Bach, I thought they were spamming that your mom. I thought they were spamming that your mom got you a new laptop. I thought that's what was really.
No, they're spamming the soda. My laptop currently is hot enough to fry an egg. That's okay though, because it's helping FOTA. So keep it going. You guys are single-handedly having an impact on this game. Through the tripwire goes Crazy Deer.
Wow.
He's an easy and quick casualty. But somehow, Coffee able to pick one off in the site. BCT looking for the wall bang, can't quite connect. The wall does go in from the Sage. That allows them to get onto the site through lane. There's the Neural Theft coming out, and it's Tigane, the Sage, locking it down. FOTA, the last man to find a kill on the round. Need More DM waking up a bit here on the defense, finding their 7th round. Still a little bit precarious for them right now as they need to claw back to double digits before they can even potentially drop one and surrender over that 12th round to forZe.
You know, if this goes to overtime, it may be... I feel like overtime on Ascent may be one of the most difficult things to fight through.
It's because not fun.
Yeah, you're swapping back and forth, and you're dealing with what feels like to be a defender-sided map, and so you're kind of scratching your head like, how do we break through? And quite honestly, I think in some cases, mid-control seems to be the biggest answer, because once you have mid-control, the defense have to play so far back that it's almost, you know, kind of strange how far back they have to play. But this time, they'll find a pick in mid, which will actually open up the catwalk to now start to push through. Zeddy with another one, and it's already 2 down for the defense. FOTA trying to be in position there, maybe to get a little bit of a mow down once they walk in. But it's already starting to fall apart. A shot here from Impala, and it's just down to the last and final member. It's Barcode, and he's got a tall task ahead of him. 5 members strong, and even if he gets one, there's a res there to make it back up to 5. And so, looking like 12-7 here, Bach, and it's really scary for Need More DM.
Barcode looking for an avenue back in towards the A site. Coffee literally slams that window shut, or actually opens it up. Not really sure how that one works. Figuratively shut the window of opportunity while literally opening the window. Regardless, it's the 12th round coming in from forZe. It's a round we expected to see eventually, but like I said, you wanted to see Need More DM hit double-digit rounds before that became a thing. Ideally, you get to 10 rounds before eventually succumbing, because eventually they're going to find one round. It's unlikely that you're going to claw back with the way that the game's progressed thus far without losing at least one round. I like this wall boost coming in over towards mid. This is one that I haven't seen yet. BZT on Pizza gets a wall that angles him out towards mid, gives him a little verticality, getting on the top rope. Unfortunately, no one's peeking it. Finally, we're going to see the jump peek come in from Zeddy. And that'll result in success here for Need More DM. Oh no! Tigane whiffs! Spotted Coffee from the side, had a chance to shoot a few bullets towards his target without any response, just couldn't quite connect with the Phantom from range. And now the Reds comes through as well onto the Omen, so they've actually managed to bring things back towards their favor. The Omen goes for the port up into the top side of A. And as I say that, Need More DM turn things back around. So the port does not work out well, taken out by the players on the site. One more tried to push up long. It's starting to get a little bit awkward here for forZe as it's a 3-on-4, and there's 2 ults still available for the defense.
Yeah, you know, I just have to call that sloppy execute. Like, I know that it was the Omen player looking for intel. It was Zeddy trying to get a little bit more information for his team to make the call to push towards A. But now we are seeing the push in on the opposite side. It's the B site, but Crazy Deer denies the showstopper. Coffee trying to make ends meet and really put another one back on the board for his team, but it's not going to be the case. Impala, now one of the last members standing. BZT trying to peek there with the operator, but too many angles for Impala to cover. And now it's a battle of the ops here in the middle, and it's all down to Impala. He may look to save this, but they know where his positioning was at least last. It was in the fruit market. A couple of peeks here. They'll break down that door and start to hunt him down, but he's got 5 seconds to stay alive, and on the opposite side, it's forZe trying to push forward. Barcode as well, going to have a peek, but he will survive. And 4-round differential between these two teams, but of course it is forZe at match point, and for Need More DM, they want to try to climb back as fast as possible, but it's proving difficult as forZe are so close to taking map number 1.
They're going to go for an aggressive peek over towards B. You see BZT's here with the op, and he wants to push up closer and closer to this ult orb. Looking like he even wants to take it. Not that he needs it. Oh no, the way that that works out, it's going to favor forZe as Impala goes nuts with the operator. We talked about his op play yesterday. A little bit disappointing in comparison to what he's able to do with the Marshall. Here, he shows up and shows up big. He gets access onto the B site, but there's a problem. No one else is here currently from the rest of the team. He had the opportunity, though, in the one-on-one to deal with the only defender on the site, the Sage, and now it's all up to forZe. He's got the soda spam in chat to help him out, but I don't think it's enough, as it is a 1-on-4. Peek coming out from Impala. May have missed, but at least it gets the intel.
forZe. Last man standing. The last janitor to clock in for the night, and there's a mess for him to clean up. Hunter's Fury going to be popped here, and he's going to stare right into the face of it, but Impala goes all the way through the fruit market, grabs himself a quick peach, and